he incorrectly attributes survival of the fittest to Darwin. The phrase was actually coined by British economist Herbert Spencer. Darwin used the term natural selection. It's what we use today. And remember, in evolution, fitness has nothing to do with what we think of physical fitness. For example, I can lift more weight and run faster than the 300-pound guy down the hall everyone calls Weird Frank. But Weird Frank has had 2 kids. I've had no kids. He is, by definition, more fit than I. More of his genes are currently in the population than mine. So, when you talk about evolutionary fitness, it's got nothing to do with ideas of human perfection. And one should note that eugenics and evolution certainly do not go hand in hand. For example, the Scopes monkey trial famously had evolution removed from textbooks because they rather offended Tennessee Christian sensibilities. However, the state's textbook commission rather happily approved biology textbooks with eugenics materials for years after the trial. Why didn't Christians protest the eugenics material? Jones claims IBM founder Thomas J. Watson was a follower of Hitler. Okay, well, IBM helped set up a census tabulator for Nazi Germany, and Hitler awarded Watson with a medal. But Watson sent the medal back at the start of World War II. Anyway, Jones notes computers were used for Hitler's race studies. Geez, I bet you hammers were used to build death camps. Damn you, Ace Hardware, for selling a tool of genocide. We're also told Bertrand Russell was eugenicist. Here, let me quote Russell, the eugenicist. Quote, "It is sometimes maintained that racial mixture is biologically undesirable. There is no evidence whatever for this view, nor is there apparently any reason to think that Negroes are congenitally less intelligent than white people." Unquote. So suck it, Jones. Next, Jones lays on us the amazing stat that 20% of the US population is on antidepressants. That's like more than 1 out of 4. According to the LA Times, 9.5% of the population suffers from a depressive disorder, and only half of them seek medical treatment. So where's Jones getting this 27% figure? I can't find it. But this is his wedge into the idea that Big Pharma is also out to get us, along with IBM, the government, the Mexicans, Charles Darwin, and Planned Parenthood. See, according to Jones' United Nations Environment Programme's Global Biodiversity Assessment report has called for the reduction of the human population to 1 billion people. Now, a Google search of the UNEP site turns up no document that makes this claim. Could we get another source there, Jonesy? According to Jones, the way this winnowing down of the human population will be achieved is using race-specific bioweapons. Jones claims South Africa developed them during, I guess, the apartheid era. Now, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission certainly uncovered that the white South African government was working on such weapons under Wouter Basson, but there is no evidence any such weapon was developed or was even realistic back in the 1980s. Jones notes Dick Cheney calls race-specific bioweapons, quote, a politically useful tool. Sounds chilling and ominous, but the quote is from a report called Strategy for Transforming Conventional Forces, which is just a think piece about the future of warfare, not the future of the American military necessarily. Nations may develop such weapons and won't just use them for terrorism, but may view them as politically useful tools. Like North Korea currently finds the threat of making a bomb a politically useful tool. Jones also gets a bit into the vaccination conspiracy. You know, they're putting things in vaccines to make people sterile, or vaccines will give your kids autism. Lots of good skeptical blogs deal with the vaccine fear-mongering crowd, and a quick Google will turn up why this is full of crap. And if vaccines aren't going to get you, then Jones warns us genetically modified foods will. That's part of the plot too, I guess. Now, here's the boner. The EU, the source of all of Jones's evil, is totally against GMO crops. How does Jones square this? Of course he doesn't. Why should he? Endgame is just 139 minutes of throwing mud, buckets and trailers full of mud, hoping some will stick. But man, pass me a wet nap, because about 1 grain of dirt manages to stick.